Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Golden Opportunities Coaching YouTube channel. Welcome to those of you who are new. Welcome back to those of you seasoned veterans of what we do around here. What we do around here is bring about a variety of topics, social, psychological, emotional, and otherwise. And we try to do that as often as we can, sometimes multiple times per week, sometimes even daily, depending on my schedule, which my schedule seems to like to be different on a daily basis these days, with all the things that I'm doing in the middle of and a potential move and all sorts of other fun things. But anyway, uh, signs that someone is passive aggressive and or reasons that a person could be passive aggressive is the way that or the reason behind this particular audio. If that's you, then there's things worth kind of listening to here. If you're dealing with passive aggressiveness and or just negative communication styles and you want to break the cycle, it's a good idea to do that and can be helpful and useful and all that good stuff. So if that's something you're interested in, please feel free to reach out. There's a couple ways to do that. You can do it on Twitter. You can do it through this About Me section here on YouTube. Either way, you'll get in touch with me or a member of my team, and we'll make that happen for you in a meaningful way. So the first is some people have a personality archetype that's towards passive aggressiveness. This is because they don't like confrontation, but they also don't like getting run over. And so a learned behavior, especially in childhood, wherein passive aggressiveness becomes a default setting for some people, is, while I wouldn't necessarily say necessary, I would say it's likely as a survival skill for some groups of people. A lot of people who have this particular issue don't realize they have it, and so that leads to misunderstandings, frustrations, anger, anxiety, and overall a negative emotional experience because many people don't realize they're coming across in that way, and or because it becomes instinctual as a part of their personality formulated in childhood. They may not even realize how they come across without it being their intention, or they've been that way for so long that even if they're trying to be kind, generous, diplomatic, transparent, they don't come across that way because their default setting is towards passive aggressiveness when they don't get what they need. Obviously, one other reason to do it is to get one's way without a heavy confrontation. Passive aggressive behavior leads people to be disarmed and or frustrated and or give in and drop their defenses. And so if a person feels that being honest isn't going to lead them to getting what they need in a social or emotional situation, then one way to increase the odds of getting one's way is to engage in passive aggressive behavior. Now, it may not necessarily be a good idea, and it also may not be healthy or intelligent, but it is effective, especially if you don't want the actual fighting, but you do want the process. The next is revenge. If a person has been hurt, but they don't know how to probably or properly expect their and express their natural indignation towards a situation and they want revenge, or they want a person to hurt just as bad as they have hurt. And a lot of times, the understanding and the underlying is I was hurt, therefore you should hurt too. And that's not done in malice, it's actually done as an equalizer for lots of people. So, wanting to hurt someone else because they've been hurt actually becomes an instinctual response, almost in self protection. And they don't even realize that that's their motive until someone points it out and extrapolates it from the psychology that they're living. And then uh, the inability to purge, identify, or properly express anger can be another one. The reality of the situation is that for most people, there can be a number of reasons why expressing anger is difficult and or they've been conditioned to believe it's inappropriate. And so if a person doesn't feel that they can express their anger in an appropriate or efficient manner, they're going to be passive aggressive because it allows them to get rid of the emotion without having to have a heavy emotional conversation where they could be judged, condemned, or otherwise negatively affected. The inability to have that conversation can, in fact, be in a difficult way for lots of people for lots of reasons. The next thing and the last thing is ultimately they're not going to get called out nearly as much. If a person is being visually kind about dealing with a situation, but mentally or emotionally they're being aggressive, the person is going to naturally give them a benefit of the doubt, in part because of their body language. And if a person's being given the benefit of the doubt, then they're not going to be called out. There will not be a public confrontation, which leads to the person not having to own their behavior. In any event, hopefully this is helpful. Keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Until next time, everybody.